From the beginning of time, man has always had a pursuit of the best quality of life possible. That quality of life is not possible without resources. The form of resources we have accumulated has changed over time from cowrie shells, state-controlled money, precious metals, real estate, and stocks and bonds. Over the past 100 years, the world has been dominated by the US dollar and its reserves. But everything that has a beginning also has an end. A new financial revolution is upon us with the emergence of a digital economy. The way we earn, spend, and accumulate resources is fundamentally changing. A new asset has appeared that the wealthy have overlooked. Bitcoin has become the best performing asset of the past decade by far. With only 21 million ever in existence, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the world today than there are Bitcoin. Just by holding 0.25 Bitcoin today will put you in the top 1% asset holders in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. If you would have invested $100,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, today it will be worth more than $15 million. Bitcoin billionaire Raoul Pal says, Bitcoin's performance is so dominant and so all-encompassing that it is going to suck in every single asset narrative dry and spit it out. Never before in my career have I seen a trade so dominant that holding any other assets makes almost no sense. This is not an industry you can afford to ignore. If you want to remain in business, then you must adapt. Are you offering services in Bitcoin? Are you accepting payments with digital currencies? Have you adopted blockchain technology? Blockbuster Video at one point was the most dominant video service in the world. They had the opportunity to be part of Netflix, but they ignored the changing technology. Where is Blockbuster today? Where will you be tomorrow? Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Normally, I don't do anything on Fridays, meaning going live. I do a lot of work in my office, catch-up work, especially at the beginning or end of the months, and I was doing that today. But every now and then, I'll be sitting here and I'll have some thoughts, and I'll do a random live, a random thing to share, what's on my mind just to get it out there, especially when I start seeing a lot of patterns and a lot of things that is repeating itself. I'm like, okay, it's telling me to pay attention to this and let me get the word out. One thing about me is I love to share, I love to teach, and I will always do this. So anytime I'm learning something new or something is crossing my plate, I say I gotta talk about this. So there's no secret that I've been doing what's called the Crypto Storm series over the last couple of months now. We've done 2 private calls about this with the founding members within the ILCA community. But every time we do Inner Circle Crypto Talk lately, and I've been seeing a spike in this, I'm seeing more and more and more and more information. So what I want to just share, and I promise I'm going to try to be just brief because I got to get back to my day-to-day work I'm doing here. But one of the things that is popping out to me is that word education. And I know for some people that's cliche. They hear that all the time. I mean, we've been hearing it since we were born, since we learned how to talk, that education is important. We've got to go to school. We've got to learn. And I don't think anybody can say that education is not important. It is one of the most important. But when we look at crypto space, most people just want to make money. And they're like, look, my life is not working the way I want it to right now. I want more resources. I need to make more money. I'm seeing stories of these people getting into crypto that I don't know what it is. They don't know what it is, but they see people making money in it. And not even just crypto, but the entire financial space. So financial space. And if you are a network marketer, you would notice, I don't know, maybe about 6 years ago, this trend started from moving from the health and wellness, the travel, the weight loss type products in network marketing to digital-based network marketing companies. some that started dealing with kind of coffee, CBD oils, and then we got into uh, e-commerce, forex, and crypto. And those were the new frontier of being an entrepreneur to make money. And I have no problem with any of that. The only issue I have is when you move from one industry to another, that's a completely new skill set. That's new information that you need to learn. You need to learn first. So as much as we want to make money, we definitely also want to be able to keep the money that we make. And if you've never made seven figures before, let me tell you what happens with lack of education. You make your seven figures and life is good for a short period of time, because really $1 million is not that much money in the big scale. So you live good for a short period of time and then you lose that seven figures. Now you had the taste of that life and you want it back. But losing that seven figures, you just went through a learning experience. You now know what to do. And in your mind, like, man, if I get that again, I know I'm not going to do what I did last time. I'm not going to make that same mistake. And so you're working hard to get that back, but now you're a little bit more educated. And if you're lucky enough to get that back, you now know how to do things a little bit differently. And that's how people learn in life. We learn through failures. Failures is not a failure, it's a lesson learned. But what if you didn't have to go through that failure? See, in the crypto space, I know what people want, and I also know what people need. People want to make money. People need the education. But the end game is everybody's going to be crypto educated. Whoa. What do you mean, Brandon? Everybody is going to be crypto educated. If I got to break that down even more, everybody will be blockchain technology educated. If I got to break that down even more, everybody will be digital ledger technology educated. And if I got to break that down more, everybody will be digital educated one way or another. Here's you can do it the easy way, or you can do it the hard way. I'm going to tell you the hard way first on how people are going to get digital educated the hard way. The first is going to be those pioneers that's jumping into crypto, for example, because they want to make money. So they're taking advantage of these companies that come in and they're building a network behind it, and you're able to recruit, you're able to compound, you're able to do all these things to grow your money. And people that are not traditional investors think they are investing because the company is talking about investing. You're not an investor. All right. You think you are because you put money on something with the intent of it to grow. That right there already lets you know you're crossing into the SEC territory, because you want somebody else to manage the money for you. So you do you know to ask the right questions? Do you know that they're offering the sale of a security? Do you understand these things? Are they registered to do this? I always give my disclaimer that I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving any type of financial advice. So what's going to happen with these individuals, these companies cannot sustain themselves. They cannot. It is not possible. It's not possible. I don't care what percentages they're guaranteeing. Will you make money in them? Yes. Yes, you will. Short term. Will you make long-term money with them? No. Can you still make long-term money while you're being a part of these opportunities? Yes. Do you know how? Well, if you have the education to know how much you should start with, when to pull it out, and then the money that you pull out to invest it in other traditional ways, now you've let your money work for you. Unfortunately, most people don't know how to do any of that steps. They don't recognize when and what and how. So no, most of these things, in fact, to date, every single one is gone. And any new ones that pop up, their fate is going to be just like the ones before. Does that mean you have to avoid all of them? No. It means you need to have a strategy, a plan, how you can take advantage of these. But since most people don't, they're going to learn when these things go under and they end up losing their savings account. They lose their life savings. They end up losing their rent money. They lose their kids' college tuition. I just was on Inner Circle Crypto Talk the other day, and we read an article about an exchange in Australia that, actually, I don't even know if that exchange is based out of Australia, but they have a lot of Australian customers. And Celsius, that's what it was, Celsius Network, and how people lost everything and got so desperate that they're sending in, begging them to release their funds, showing pictures of ultrasound of their unborn babies. Talking about, what am I going to do? I've got elderly parents I'm taking care of. I have $50,000 in there I need to get out. I've got $150,000, and they're at a loss. They don't know what to do. Now, I tell you what, they learned a big lesson from this. Let's not go into that. Let's talk about the everyday person that's not even into crypto, how they're going to learn. You're working a 9-to-5 job, you're chugging along, and you go into your job one day, and the boss says that we are now accepting crypto or CBDs as payments for our customers. What do you know about this? Or we're now going to pay your salary in crypto or this CBDC. So now that you're getting paid in it, you're going to be forced to know how to move it in and out, whether you like it or not, because you want that money. See, the institutions, which I said in this about Jamie Dimon from JPMorgan Chase, the Federal Reserve, they are all building and preparing for the infrastructure for a digital financial economy. You cannot escape that. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. And so you're going to be forced to learn it one way or another. So the whole world is moving towards this. You have a decision to make on how you're going to learn the lesson. Will it be forced upon you? Or will you take advantage of this wild, wild west time that we have right now to learn as much as you can so that you can benefit from it? Web3 is just the next evolution of the internet. And this is happening. So how do you get to this point? How do we mix what you need with what you want? How do we go from, I don't know nothing about this Bitcoin stuff, but I keep seeing people making money, but I'm scared because I'm also hearing about people losing money, but I want to make money. Where do I go? See, this is what separates ILCA, because at this point, somebody out there will say, well, Brandon, yeah, we know education is important, but we don't need to get it from you. We'll just go to YouTube. Well, you can go to YouTube and still get it from me. You don't have to pay for it. I got thousands of videos on YouTube. But the one thing that I want to bring to the table, I said that wrong. The one thing I have on my table, because I am the table, is myself. What do I mean by that? Have you ever watched a video before, especially an educational video, and you've got questions? You need a little bit more insight. You need something. Can this be explained in a way that you can understand? Because I did my courses in a way that my mom can understand, pop-up book style. So what separates ILCA from anything else out there is that we're providing live, real, and physical education and training. We want to prepare you for what is already out there right now and what is to come, because we are still at the beginning of this. And this is so exciting. It is an exciting time to be alive. for most people right now. It's exciting time. Don't be, the economy's doing bad, inflation and gas prices is up, but at the same time, there is unlimited potential of opportunity. But if you put the main thing, which is education first, the sky is the limit. I have story after story of people who knew nothing about Bitcoin and crypto. And once they learned about this, was able to put whatever their passion and whatever their skill set is and apply it into crypto and create a fortune doing that. So what is your passion? What is your skill set? Are you willing to learn? Because if you do that, you will be so far ahead of this storm that's coming that you will survive and you will thrive. With the goal being what Jim Rohn always says. This shirt says, just say no to inflation. Well, how do I say no to inflation, Brandon? Prices are up, but my check ain't going up on my job. My answer to inflation is make more money. How do I make more money? You're telling me that I can get into this crypto thing, but people are losing their life savings in it. Education first. It's not going to guarantee that you won't lose, but it will minimize your losses, minimize your risk. You will lose somewhere along the way. That's a guarantee. But at least your education will minimize that. You'll be smart about it. You'll know what to do. I'm going to give you another quote from Jim Rohn that I've modified into the crypto space. This is my 6th year in crypto. 6 years ago at this time, I started with $30 in my pocket in this space, and I've been full-time ever since. And I am so thankful for that opportunity. But what made that possible is the education. But Jim Rohn says, you must build a financial wall around your house so high that nothing can penetrate it. And then he goes on to say, and this is what I modified, is that based on observation and personal experience, we have enough information to conclude that it is not only possible, but probable to design and live an extraordinary life with crypto and blockchain technology. But it's with education first. And what ILCA has done is, yes, we want to provide you the education, but we're also providing you with a way of making money. I call it earn while you learn. Those that want to be interested in that, I will be doing a special presentation Sunday night. Oh, wait a minute. Sunday night, that's my mom's birthday. I'll have to do it tomorrow night. Hey, Marnita, I was talking about what am I going to do on Saturday night? That's what I'm going to do on Saturday night. Sunday, celebrating my mom's birthday. So, yes, Sunday night, tomorrow night. And guess what else? I'm going to do something for free tomorrow morning. We have our crypto talk. It is part 2 of the series of JPMorgan. You guys know who that is, right? JPMorgan and Chase, one of the largest banks in the world. JPMorgan and Chase came out with a 17-page report, not on blockchain, not on cryptocurrencies, not on CBDCs, but even deeper, a 17-page report on the metaverse. Now, to understand the metaverse, first you got to know what blockchain is, what crypto is, CBDCs and all this stuff that's coming in, because the metaverse is going to be allowing real world transactions. So JP Morgan has gone deep in this, and not just a brief mention, but they are plotting out their future business plan, their business model. One of the largest banks in the world, 17-page report on how the metaverse is going to change society. I'll give let me see the exact quote of this. It's called, I'll share screen. So those who don't believe me, you can see it. Hold on, let me get back here. All right. Opportunities in the metaverse. How businesses can explore the metaverse and navigate the hype versus reality. This is not just them reporting on the metaverse. This is a how-to manual. JPMorgan, their Treasury Services Department. Are you serious? We are witnessing a fundamental change into how our society operates. Now, there are things that we can't control. We can't control inflation. We cannot control the war in Russia and Ukraine and Vladimir Putin talking about nuclear weapons. We cannot control a hurricane that comes and sweeps through Florida. We can't control an earthquake that can happen underneath California. There are a lot of things in life that we can't control, but it's not the things that happen to you that's important. It's how you respond to them. How are you prepared for it? We can prepare for these things so that we can survive it. We can prepare. And one thing that Jamie Dimon says, and he's the CEO of JPMorgan, one thing that he said is there is a financial hurricane that's coming that's going to be the greatest one in man history. And JPMorgan is prepared. That's what he said. We're prepared for it. He's been preparing for this since at least 2015. At least. Bill Gates has been preparing for it at least since then. What is that, Derek? This is another way of seeing it, whether we want to an asset or continue to become the liability. So the education will make us become an asset. Yeah, you're right. The education is your asset because that is something you can control. You can't control all that other stuff. We're witnesses to that other stuff, but don't be a witness to this. Be a participant, and you can start with your education first. That will put you light years away, and I am honored and proud to attempt to do my part in this world by using my skill set to bring quality crypto education to the masses. But it's up to you to take it. So I invite all of you to be a part of our next 5-day challenge is coming up on October 24th. October 24th, 5-day challenge. And guess what? There's no cost to that. ilcachallenge.com, ilcachallenge.com. And learn about some basics of crypto. It doesn't cost you anything. And you're not just learning from me, but we've got a bunch of panelists as well. You want to be a part of our day-to-day inner circle where I'm seeing this information. Those of you in the inner circle know exactly what I'm talking about because you're going on this journey with me. You're learning this information at the same time as I do. Inner circle every day. An example of that will be tomorrow. So if you want to know kind of what the inner circle is all about, watch our crypto talk tomorrow morning. There's no cost to that. It's going to be public. It's going to be streamed exactly the way I'm streaming right now. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But we're going to be talking about JPMorgan. You want to get the courses. You definitely want to get the courses. Whether or not you decide to watch the recorded videos, by purchasing the courses, you're doing something else. You're purchasing access to me twice a week because I will do those courses live. So for those of you who say, well, you know, Brandon, I really don't have time to try to watch the video and understand what's going on. I got questions. I'd rather wait for you to do it live. Great. You got to purchase the courses to get access to that live. And then finally, another thing that I've learned is when I was in my personal development and I was reading books and I was learning about The Secret and all that stuff. And guess what? In the beginning, I had no success. I mean, I was personal developed out. I watched every video by not Jim Rohn, but at the time, Les Brown and Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Bob Proctor. I watched the movie The Secret. I read the book The Secret. I read Think and Grow Rich. I read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read Your First Year in Network Marketing. I did all of that stuff and still was not having success. I'm like, what is going on? But I did learn a couple of things later on. It took me 10 years. Focus on the goal and not the task, but you still need to do a task. You can't just focus on the goal and then sit at home and wait for something to fall in your lap. You must take action. But then what action are you taking? What's the right action? For me at the time, I was taught, make a list of everybody that you know and pick up the phone and start calling them. You got to try to sell to friends and family. That's the worst piece of advice I was ever given. What changed was learning a skill set for marketing. And I learned how to at least brand myself, and I am by no means a marketing expert, and I will never claim to be. Nobody should claim to be a marketing expert unless they got at least 10 million plus in the bank. You have less than that. You are not a marketing expert. You may know a little bit about marketing. I am not a marketing expert. I am always learning. I am a student of it. I believe in hiring the marketing expert. That's what I believe. And I was vice president of sales and marketing for 2 companies. So, but I learned some skills. It was more skills that other people had. So therefore, in their eyes, I was an expert. And now doing that task while focusing on the goal, I did start to have a lot of success learning the skills. So since I know that, I also in my company want to provide the ability for you to learn a skill set that will benefit you, not just in ILCA, but in anything that you do for the rest of your life. ILCAmarketing.com. ILCAmarketing.com. I got to give a shout out to my assistant Marnita because she don't be knowing. I didn't tell her I was going live, and she sees that, she hops on and she's dropping the links right here for you guys. I got to do something special for her. She just dropped that out. I love that. But I will tell you this, you want to get the marketing system. Last night, we did a training series for night 1, and there's no cost for this. Anybody can be a part of this training series, even if you're using different marketing systems to learn. So we had one session last night. We'll be doing another one on Monday night about how to advertise on Facebook using free and paid advertising, how to set it up, how to set up your business account and all that kind of stuff from professionals, the people who do that for a living. They didn't just figure it out yesterday. From professionals. Like I said, I hired professionals to do this for me. But I'm still a student as well because I'm there because I want to learn too. But you want to get the marketing system. ILCAmarketing.com. It's going to be integral to everything that ILCA is doing in the future, moving forward, especially when we go into 2023. You want to have that marketing system. We got some good things for you, either the $99 or the $199. If you're in a situation where you say your mindset is, I don't know if I can afford it, you definitely need to be the one using it. If you are the mindset that says, I can afford it, I just don't see the value in it, good luck. You're willing to spend $50,000 and $100,000 in crypto, but you don't want to pay the $199 or $199 to learn how to do it effectively for a long period of time. Yeah, all I can say to you is good luck. I wish you the best. So that's all I wanted to share my thoughts on that one way or another, you're going to learn crypto education. It's either going to be forced upon you, you're going to choose to get it yourself, or you're going to learn because you just lost a lot of money. And for free, because normally I only share this with those in our founding members, there is some crypto storms coming with some companies. And I feel that a lot of people are going to get hurt. And they're going to get hurt because of they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared. They were failed. They were failed by those leading them into these companies. They were failed by the CEOs of these companies. And they were failed by themselves for lack of attempting to get educated first to know what to do if you are part of these companies. All the way around, they were failed. And they're going to lose a lot. You don't want to be that individual sending in a picture of your unborn child begging to get access to your money. You don't want that to be you. You don't want to be the one that you took a huge risk, didn't tell your spouse about it. Then when all the money's gone, you got to figure out how are you going to share that with your family. You don't want to be in that position. You definitely don't want to be the person that you drew everybody into these things, and now you got to look them in the face, and they're like, wait a minute, you're not hurting as bad as we are, but we followed you, and now I can't pay my rent. You don't want to be that shoulder that people are crying on. Education. With ILCA, you can still make $10,000, $100,000, $1 million a year while you're getting educated. And now you have the resources to go out there and share with others. But I believe that there's going to be a painful storm coming. And ILCA will still be here as a community, as a family, to welcome you. Now that you went through that experience, now are you ready to learn? Now are you open to learning so that it doesn't happen again? See, there's only two things that's going to happen once that shakeup happens. You're either going to get jaded by the industry and go back to what you were doing before, which wasn't working anyway. Or two, you're going to force yourself to say, yeah, let me get educated so I don't make the same mistake twice. The worst is to still thumb your nose at education and jump on board and lose it all over again to something else. Fool me once, that's on them. But fool me twice, hey, you got to start taking the responsibility that you have the power to control what you do, and not just this space, but any space. And it all starts with education. Get educated. All right, everybody, that was it. I need to get back to work. I'm finishing up some courses. I'm still working on the NFTs right now. We will be doing our not inner circle, but crypto talk tomorrow morning on JPMorgan. I will be doing an ILCA presentation tomorrow night. I want to make our 5-day challenge this month the biggest month yet. So I need to put my mind in, who do I know? Who can I talk to that has an influence of community of people that need crypto education? And it's not going to cost them anything. They come out for the 5-day challenge for free. Who can I help make $100,000 this year or in the next 12 months? That's where I'm putting my thought process to and keeping my foot to the grind. So with that, take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.